Hey everybody, today we will crochet the Classic Snuggle Beanie. This is a fun, easy and beginner-friendly crochet hat pattern. This hat can be made in all sizes from preemie to adult. The written pattern has been linked in the description box below. So today we are going to crochet this beanie in the adult woman and men sizes. This is an easy hat made from a rectangle, no shaping needed. It has a folded brim and you can add a pom-pom to it if you so desire. You can see this hat has a lovely unique stitch pattern and it looks like a knit hat, and we are going to get this pattern making half double crochets in the third loop.
Hello and welcome to Let's All Crochet. I just wanted to say hi, I'm Aki, and if you want to sign up for the Let's All Crochet newsletter, it's linked in the description box below. So you'll get a free pattern and all the updates in the future. And if you are interested in designing, I've left some extra resources in the description box below also. So let's continue.
To crochet this hat, we're going to need about 100 grams of any medium weight or weight 4 yarn for an adult woman. I have left all the amounts needed for all the sizes in the written pattern. So I'm going to leave the suggested yarn in the description box below. So I have used a local 100% acrylic yarn in weight 4 and I have used these two colors. You can use whatever color you want. So the other material we are going to need is an H or a 5mm size crochet hook. We are also going to need a scissors, a tapestry needle and a measuring tape. Now let's begin. So I've already made one beanie in this blue color, and today we are going to crochet the adult woman size. So I'm going to tell you how to modify it for the adult man also, and the written pattern has all the sizes from preemie to adult man, and it also has the stitch counts and the row counts if you want. So I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. So like I said before, we are going to make this hat form a rectangle and there is no shaping needed. So first we are just going to begin by chaining the height of the hat, and I'm going to tell you how much to chain. Then we are going to keep on repeating the rows till we have the width that we want. So this is the width of the hat. Once we finish, we are just going to fold it in half. We are going to slip stitch across this side and then close the top of the beanie. So it's going to be very easy to make. We're going to begin with a slip knot and we can make this however we want. Now we are going to start chaining the height of the hat. So for the height, we are going to chain 12 inches for a woman and 12.5 inches for a man. So it doesn't matter how many chains you have, but you must have 12 inches for a woman and 12.5 or 12.5 inches for a man. So let's begin chaining. To chain, we're going to yarn over first and then pull through this loop. This is our first chain. Yarn over and pull through the loop. This is our second chain. Yarn over and pull through. 3, 4, 5 and so on. So I will meet you once you finish. So I finished chaining and I just want to show you, once you finish, you're going to place your chain against a measuring tape and make sure it measures 12 inches for a woman, 12.5 inches for a man. Let's begin row 1. We're going to half double crochet in the third chain from the hook. So this loop on this hook is not a chain. This is our first chain, skip it. This is our second chain, skip it, and this is our third chain. We're going to make a half double crochet in it. So yarn over first and then insert your hook into the top loop. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So we have made our first half double crochet. Let's do this again. Yarn over, insert your hook into this next chain that you see. So I'm going into the top loop. Then yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So this is our second half double crochet. Let's go to this next chain and make one more half double crochet. Yarn over first, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. So in this same way, we are going to continue making half double crochet till we reach the end of this chain. So I will meet you once we finish. So let's count our half double crochet now. This is our first half double crochet. Remember that the skip chain 2 does not count as a half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue till you reach the end of the row. The number of half double crochets that we have is going to be 2 less than the number of chains that we made. And the number of half double crochets is going to remain the same in all the rows from now on. Row 2, we are going to chain 2 and then turn our work. So yarn over and then pull through 1, yarn over and then pull through 2. And then we are going to turn our work. So for this beanie, we are going to half double crochet in the third loop. So this loop on the hook is not a stitch. This is the first chain and the second chain of the chain 2 that we just made as the turning chain. And this is our very first stitch. So usually we work below these 2 loops. But to work in the third loop, we are going to come to this loop that we see here. So on the top we have the normal loops. You're just going to turn your work and you will see one loop here. So this is the loop that we're going to make a half double crochet into from now on for all the rows. And this is the third loop. So this is also the third loop of the next stitch. This is the third loop of the next stitch. And we're only going to work into this third loop. So let's start making our half double crochets. Yarn over first and then you're going to go to the third loop. So remember, not these 2 loops on the top. Just turn your work and you will see this loop right here. Insert your hook below this loop, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And this is our first half double crochet of this row. So let's make our next half double crochet. We're going to yarn over first and we're going to find our next stitch. This is our next stitch and this is the third loop. So we're going to insert our hook below the loop like this, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. So let's do it once more. Yarn over first. We're going to find our third loop. This here is our third loop. We're going to insert our hook below it. So be careful, you go only below the third loop. Then you're going to yarn over, pull through. We have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. So as you work the stitches, it becomes easier and easier. And I will meet you at the end of this row. So I just want to show you the end of the row. So this is my second last stitch and this is my last stitch. So I'm going to turn my work so you can see the top of the stitches. This is the second last stitch and this is the last stitch. We have the skip chain 2 on the side here where my thumb is. So the second last stitch and the last stitch. And when we turn, we can see these are the third loops. So let's make our last 2 half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook into the third loop, make your half double crochet. And now let's go to the last stitch. Be very careful because this last one may not be so clear. You can see in the front here we have the V or the top of the stitch and we turn and this is our third loop. So let's go below it and make our last half double crochet of this row. At the end of every half double crochet row, you're going to count all your stitches and make sure they're the same as row 1 because sometimes we might skip the last one accidentally. So it's easier if you count. So for the rest of the hat, now it's very easy. We're just going to repeat row 2 for pattern. We're going to repeat row 2 till we reach the required width of our hat. We're going to make it 20 inches for an adult woman and 22 inches for an adult man. So I'm just going to show you once more how we're going to repeat row 2. We're going to chain 2 first and turn our work. So now let's make half double crochets in the third loop. The loop on the hook is not a stitch. This is the chain 2. We have to skip this, yarn over, and this is our very first stitch. This is the top of the stitch and this here is my third loop. So I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. Yarn over, we're going to find the next third loop and make a half double crochet. So you become better at spotting the third loops as you continue making the hat. So continue doing this till you reach the end of the row and I will meet you there. So I've reached the end of the row and I just want to show you the last couple of stitches again. So this is the third loop of my second last stitch and this is the top of the stitch. If we turn our work, we can see this is the V of the second last stitch and this is the V of the last stitch. At the back here, we have the third loop of the second last stitch and this is the third loop of the very last stitch. So I'm going to just make my half double crochets, yarn over, make a half double crochet in the second last stitch, yarn over and the third loop of the last, and this is the end of the row. So you're just going to count the stitches and make sure you haven't missed any stitch. So you can see this lovely pattern beginning to form. It's on both sides and this is because of half double crocheting in the third loop. Both the sides are going to look more or less the same. I'm going to end at an even number row. So you're just going to continue repeating row 2 for pattern till you have your required width, which is 20 inches wide for a woman and 22 inches wide for a man. So I will meet you once you finish. Just keep repeating row 2. So I just want to give you a little tip. At the end of the row 3, you can check your hat height again. It should be 11.5 for a woman and about 12 inches for a man. So the height will be a little lesser than our chain. And if you feel that your height is off, you can just start again. But if it is 11.5 for a woman and 12 inches for a man, we are good to continue. So I just want to show you, this is my finished rectangle and this is how we started chaining and then making our rows and continued repeating the rows till we have the entire rectangle. So you can measure with the measuring tape. This is going to be about 11.5 inches wide and a hat is going to be about 20 inches for a woman. So about 20 inches wide for a woman and 22 for a man. So now we have reached the end. We are just going to fold this in half like this. Then we are going to slip stitch across these two ends and then close the top with a tapestry needle. So I'm going to tell you exactly how to do this. So we want to slip stitch on the wrong side of our hat. So both the sides are same, but it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to still show you what is the right side for me. So when the slip knot is at the bottom left, this is my right side. So this is my right side. And now I'm just going to fold this in half. And I'm going to start slip stitching across from here till I reach the end here. So I have ended at an even number row and this is why I have finished my last stitch on the opposite side to the slip knot. So I'm going to start slip stitching here till I reach this end here. So first we are just going to bring both these ends together. Then we are going to chain one. So I have not cut off this yarn. I'm going to continue with the same yarn, yarn over and then pull through. And now we are going to slip stitch both these sides together. So I'm going to find the first chain on this side. This is my first half double crochet. On the side here we have a chain 2. This does not count as a stitch, so do not work into this. This is our very first half double crochet and right below it here we see the 2 loops of the chain. I'm going to go below it. We're going to find our first half double crochet on this side. This is my first half double crochet. I'm going to go below both the loops of the first half double crochet. Then I'm going to yarn over, pull through the top of this half double crochet, pull through the chain and pull through the loop on my hook. And this is my first slip stitch. So we're just going to continue slip stitching across in the same way. This is my second chain. So you can see I've made a slip stitch here. This is the second chain. Insert your hook below both the loops of the chain. And this is the second half double crochet. We're going to go below the top 2 loops of the half double crochet. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through the half double crochet, pull through the chain and pull through the loop on the hook. Then we're going to go to the next stitch, insert your hook below the chain, next stitch on the other side below the 2 loops of the top of the stitch, yarn over, pull through and pull through the loop on your hook. So in the same way, you're going to continue slip stitching across till you reach the very last stitch. So I will meet you there. So I just want to say, don't make your slip stitches too tight. You want to keep them a little bit loose. So I'll meet you once you finish, and the number of slip stitches is going to be same as the number of half double crochets. So I will meet you at the end of this slip stitch row. So I've finished my very last slip stitch. You can count all your slip stitches to make sure you have not missed any. They must be the same as the number of half double crochets that you have made. So now I'm just going to cut this yarn. You're going to leave a very long tail, about 20 inches or more, and then just cut this yarn. And now you're going to pull out a loop. So you're going to tug on your hook and pull out a loop. Just pull this yarn out. And now we're going to close the top of the hat. So we're going to close this. So I'm just going to bring my tapestry needle now, and just once before we start closing the top, I'm going to go from this side to this side and then tug on the needle. So I've just secured the top a little more. We're going to take this tapestry needle through the top of the entire hat and then pull it closed. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So we're going to start from here and keep going like this. So we're going to take our needle and then we're going to insert it in the top here and then come out like this. Let's keep doing that. Insert it through the top and then come out like this. So it doesn't matter where you do this, you just want to go through the sides of the stitches that you see here. And keep doing this till you reach the other end here. So we're just going to slowly insert our needle. And you're just going to continue doing this till you reach the end here. Just go through the tops of the stitches, doesn't matter where. I will meet you once we finish this. So I just want to show you I finished going through the top of the hat all around and reach the end. So now you will realize if you pull this, the top will automatically close. So just keep on pulling. And now we're going to go through this top a few more times so that we close it a little more. So this is the top of my hat, and I'm just going to go with my tapestry needle into the top. I'm just holding it tightly like this. Just go anywhere into the top like this, and we're going to do this a few times till we close the entire top. And keep on doing this a few times. You want to just check and you've closed this entire top before you weave this tail end in. So I've put my finger in and I can see that the top is completely closed. And now we're just going to weave this tail end in. So with the tapestry needle, we're going to go 3 to 4 times in the opposite direction. You want to try and be as neat as possible so that this doesn't come to the front of the hat. Just go in the opposite direction till you're sure that the tail end is firmly weaved in. Oops. So once you're sure that the tail end is firmly weaved in, you're going to take a scissor and then cut this off. The last thing that we're going to do is weave this or any other tail end in, and we're going to turn our hat inside out so that closing of the top lies on the wrong side. So the Classic Snuggle Beanie is now ready to wear, and I hope you have enjoyed crocheting this. Thank you so much for watching. So please don't forget to subscribe to the Let's All Crochet newsletter that is linked in the description box for future updates and goodies. And if you're interested in designing and writing your own crochet patterns, I have left the resources in the description box below. See you next time.